In this video, I'm going to show you how to get free assets that are given away on the Unity Asset Store. So I'm going to take this color scene here and I'm going to copy and place it. So select it, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to rename this one to Free Assets. Okay, so if we double click on colors, we get this. If we double click on free assets, it looks the same because, well, we copied it. But what we're going to do to free assets is change some things. The asset store in Unity is tied to your Unity ID that you created at the beginning of this class. So it's simple. From within Unity, you go to Windows, Asset Store, and the browser of your choice will come up. On the upper right hand corner here, if it doesn't automatically have you logged in, then click the login button or sign in button, whatever they call it. And I guess there's a sale up to 60% for a limited time. This sale will be gone in a flash. Okay, I closed that little notification. Now what is it we want to do? We're going to do, there's just some textures. So I'll just type the word textures up here and see what it comes back with. And as you can see, this person's selling their textures for about $15 and $300, my goodness, $5. Okay, but over here on the right hand side is something I like a lot, and that is click the word, you can set the pricing, right? You can set the pricing of how much you're going to pay, minimum or maximum. But I always try this first because there's just a lot of them that are free. Whoops, what? I clicked on a, I meant to move the browser and I clicked on a window. All right. Let's see. Now, when it says purchased, when it's free, it just means you own it. It doesn't mean that you paid money for it. So we're going to pick something I don't have. So you highlight, you move your mouse over it and hit quick look. And it brings up a short one, sometimes a video. Sometimes it's muted. And these are the different grass textures that come with it. And with this particular free asset, I don't know why we got 9 pictures of grass, but I'm glad that they gave us a choice. And then you can, now what I do is I right click and for a few full details so I don't lose the window I'm on. And we'll see if it gives us some more information about this free asset. An overview, collection of stuff. It tells you what it gets. Whoa, I don't know if this comes with 300 hand-painted textures or not, but if it's so, it's quite a deal. Package contents, let's find out. Doesn't look like there's 300 in there. So I'm not sure what that was talking about. Maybe he means he has more. So I'm going to open that one in a new tab. Oh yeah, see, that's his lost leader. He gives us away this one, but he sells other ones, and that's fine. It's its original release. Does it have any reviews? It's got 5-star and 1 4-star. We can scroll down, or it's what I often do is I look for the lowest rating that was given, click on it, and see what the problem is. Sometimes it'll just say it isn't what I wanted, which isn't very fair to the guy who did this, because this guy said decent grass texture, so he likes it, but it wasn't what he wanted probably, and that's okay for a review. But when it says it didn't work with my scene or something, it's kind of rude to give a bad review. If it represents what they said it represents, then I would think they get a good review. And the publisher info, you can find it. You can go to his publisher's profile, and it will come up with his profile and the various things that he has. He has a lot of things for sale. So this guy, oh gosh, he has pages of stuff. He has 12 pages of stuff for sale. Just picking the, oh my goodness, most of the stuff's for sale. But that's okay. I generally don't buy them. There's just so much free stuff. And so what I'll do is we're going to get the grass one because it's what I'd like you to do. Let's close that. I would like you to look around and find out what you want. I'd be happier if you did not select what I did. But if you select what I did because you want to make it reproducible, that's fine also. Well, here's one that looks nice. It's got some grass stuff, and it's got some bricks of various kinds, and I don't know what that is, but it looks interesting. It's free. I'm going to click Add to my assets. When you do that, you have to accept the terms and conditions, and then you have a choice here. I'm going to click Open in Unity, and it will open the package manager for me, and it selects it, or it did for a fraction of a second. Oh, there it is, the free texture pack. I'm going to download it, and we'll get back to the asset store in a second. Now I want you to watch down here when I hit install, because after that is import. It's importing. It'll pop up a screen saying what parts of it do you want to get, and I'm going to select all. Let's get this out of the way. This should grow in a second. I'm going to click all rather than just verify them all, and import. Let's see what changes down here. Oh, pack free 3. See, sometimes the names don't exactly match and you have to find them, but this was pretty easy. All right, that's kind of cool. So we can look at that in a second, but I want to go back to the asset store. And I'm going to close this. And what is this one called? A Dog's Life Software is the name of his company. This is a texture. I'm not sure what it is, but it's kind of, if you wanted something that looked like that, it's kind of cool. A Dog's Life. So it doesn't have any description of what it is. Foam. There goes foam textures. Okay. You could change the color, make it look like different kinds of foam. You could click on these buttons here. I often just hit the next button. Interesting. Wow, I didn't know something like this was available. I don't, I like firearms, but I don't generally publish stuff with realistic weapons in them because some people don't, and I love everybody, and I just want to have fun games that I want to share. Stone floor textures. Looks roofing textures. Now see, some of these, I'm not sure that looks like roofing to me, but like some of them do here. This would be kind of a medieval castle look. Brick. I kind of like that old urban brick. I wouldn't want to own the house in a moist area. I'd have to keep the moss and growth out of that, but I do like it. And if anybody ever painted their brick, I would wonder why, because I like brick. Oop, back as I hit the detail page. Anyway, as you can see, there's a lot of free stylized lava. Quick look. I actually own this one, I think. Yeah, it says open, otherwise it would say purchase. And although it shows it as a ball, it's actually will flatten out, right? So it's for some reason they just show a lot of textures in a ball format. Stone. Anyway, so you can go on forever. Sand. It's an interesting sand texture. I take it off mute because sometimes they tell us stuff about it. Looks more like peanuts in chocolate, but okay. I could use that in other things. Metal texture is interesting. Okay. And I could just go forever through these textures and wonder. PBR. I wonder what PBR stands for. I could see a use for that. Anyway, so pick some textures, and so what you'll do is you'll download them. And there's materials in here. There's textures in here. They often have a demo scene. So let's double click on their demo scene. Oh, that's kind of cool. And it shows you how they look laid out. Okay, there was the grass one. Kind of a wallpaper. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Kind of looks like a basketball brick. Okay. And some old brick. I actually like this one. Not sure what it's called. It would have been nice to put the names up here. But we can actually find out without really doing any harm. We're going to go back to our scenes and the free asset one. Zoom back out, and I'm going to take, just kind of drag them one at a time and look at them. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like, and here's the wall looks like. That's what I'm going to use. Let's see here. I have the quad selected. Material. Now here's a thing that's interesting. It's called tiling. Now watch what happens when I change the tiling. I can change it in the X direction. I can change it in the Y direction. So let's just, for the heck of it, change this to like 10 and 10 and zoom in. So that'd make a nice wall or floor, right? And over here, let's put some grass. And it doesn't look that impressive right now, or maybe it does. And I'll click on this plane over here and expand out this, and let's change it. Let's find out what we changed to 10 and 10 over here, if it looks better or worse. Now let's zoom in, and it's got a pattern, which if you've got a bunch of stuff, like, you know, old ruins or whatever, then you probably wouldn't see the pattern. But if it's an area where you can see the pattern, it might not be the best choice. Here you expect some kinds of pattern because it's stone. There's a thing called offset as well. So let's say that you have a wall. Oops, if you have a wall, let's say, and you want to make it line up maybe one of these, you can change both the X, oops, if I select it, the X and the Y offsets. Doesn't really show in this tile. I wonder why. Let's change these back to 1 and see if it shows up better. I'll be darned. I've never seen one not work. Anyway, you can, did I not check? Oh, that's because I did the wrong one, buffoon. All right, there we go. All right, now let me zoom in. I was clicking on the wrong thing on the right-hand side. Let's say you want something to line up maybe on the X side. You can change it manually or drag the X around and slide the texture around to match what it is you want. Same with the Y direction. You can shift it so that maybe you want the edge of a wall to line up with the edge of a brick, because, you know, nobody, like in this area right here, let's say, right, nobody puts half a brick next to a wall, right? They put the full brick. So you might want to adjust it just slightly so that the edge of the brick, if that were a wall here, lined up with the brick. And same with over here. You might want to play with the X so that maybe it was half a brick, because nobody uses 1/10 of a brick. So I would slide it, that's about half. There's about half. So that looks like it's something that somebody could actually make, right? And you might not think that really matters, but there'll be times when it's just like your eye notices things that you don't really understand. You walk into a room and it's got really ugly colors, and that's what you notice, right? You don't notice the furniture if the color of the walls are ugly. So you just try to make every little detail as realistic as possible, especially when you get into virtual reality. You'll be amazed if you haven't been. Now this emission one is kind of interesting. You can make it kind of glow, and there's a thing, baked or real time. Baked means it calculates it when you build it. Real time means shadows work. If you walk across the light, it can change the lighting. Now, some of these, like the color, will be the base color underneath. So a lot of times you can change it by changing the base color of what's underneath, so you can get different colors than what you downloaded, which is nice. And then roughness, the normal map, they have names. I don't know why they call them this. Normal map is texture. All right, so it came with a normal map, which means that you can adjust how deep it looks. Like, let me change this to a ridiculous 20, right? Or 5, right? And I'll drag it with the mouse. Can I drag this? I can't drag this with the mouse. I'll put it back to 1. So that makes it look like it has depth. The height map is similar. It kind of drags things around. So if I make the normal map 5 and that, you know, you can get some really, you can make it look like a lot of things look completely different than what they had planned for them to look like by changing the base color. And then this one doesn't really get affected by that. Anyway, so if you have emission, you can change the emission color, which color it glows from, kind of, right? You could get all kinds of sci-fi effects. I'm going to Control Z that and put it back the way it was, which is black. You can do the tiling. Secondary maps and stuff I'm not going to get into. But there are basically things where they put masks on masks on masks and make some spectacular stuff. I'm not an artist. I just use what the artists produce. And UV, interesting. I don't know the difference in those. You're going to have fun Googling. If, by the way, anytime I say I don't know and you find it something interesting, I would love to hear about it in email, or if we're going to be in a formal class and we have a class email list, please share what you find, because it means the next guy might go, oh, gee, that's what I've been looking for, or wow, I didn't even know you could do that. I want to do that. And that's the world we're living in, especially in technology, where everybody, I mean, Google is your friend, and a few other sites like the Asset Store are your friend. So anyway, that's the basics of textures and tiling. And if we go back to the Asset Store, this is kind of long but necessary, I think. Let's take a texture that is stranger, I'll call it. I'll just say material. Take a material that is free. Let's put something weird on. Oh, there's a good example, right? But I was kind of hoping for something like, I have no idea what that would look like, right? And in fact, this is the one from that original scene that I did. I just did a copy paste of the picture because I wanted the picture. So we're going to download that. Immersive learning. You're learning how the same way I would. I don't know what those assets were. We made them up as we went along. You're going to have fun doing this. I'm having fun doing this. A formal classroom import. A formal classroom, you would have known exactly. I'll just import it. I don't know what. Okay. Next. Interesting. I don't want to import. I don't want to overwrite anything, so I'm going to cancel. I don't really know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Don't be afraid to back out either. Not sure what that did. Interesting. So I'll try this one. Immersive learning. Add to my assets. Accept. Open in Unity. There really isn't a delete. Once it's in your list, it's in your list. Download. Import. Hopefully we won't get any weird errors with this one. There we go. That looks interesting. Import. And again, we don't really have any specific goal in this particular lesson other than that we're playing with textures and materials. Okay. Now that we got that out of the free pack, which I'm going to slide it into imported, right? Because I imported that one from somebody else. I don't want to think I did it. It'll take a few seconds. There's an asset pack. I bet that's this one we just downloaded. Why is it not? There we go. The marble. It has demo scenes. Let's see what their demo scene looks like. Let's save our current scene. Yes. Okay. Kind of like looks kind of like a Star Wars thing. That'd be kind of a. From a distance, you could make it think of some sort of mechanical planet. If you put that on a sphere. So we're going to try that. Back to our scenes, free assets. I'm going to take this sphere here, and I'm going to make it bigger so we can see what we're doing. And I'm going to try that one on it. Okay, and I'm going to try this one on it. And I'm going to try this one on it. And then I'm going to try this one on the floor here. And this one on the floor here. That's kind of interesting. Well, that could be, you know, used for some, like public restroom or something wall. But okay. So yeah, you see what I mean? It wasn't even, I'm pretty sure it wasn't designed, but at a distance you could probably convince someone that that was a mechanical moon or a space station, right? Um, anyway, so playing with assets is fun. You sometimes get things you don't even know you're going to get when you play with them, because then you can play with the tiling, you can play with all kinds of stuff and get really strange results. Oh, wrong one again. Right? That's changing with the tiling, and the X and the Y direction gives the appearance of spinning, but the offset I don't think would make much difference on a sphere. There's just, it's there or it's not. Changing the underlying color, wonder where silver is in the color scheme. Right? I could look more silver. Yeah, anyway, we get the idea. I'm going to end this video.